Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Give it a couple more minutes. This was just kind of you wake up some mornings and you have something on your mind and you just need to get it out there. Good morning, Rita. Thank you for being here. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all. Good morning, French. How are you? Thank you for being here. I'm going to tell y'all 9/11 always gets to me. Always gets to me. I have a very difficult time with 9/11. When 9/11 2001 happened, I was working in a factory at the time. And we all had radios, at our each individual, most of us did anyway, at our each individual machine. I ran a machine. And I remember hearing ABC News come across and say that Tower One had been hit by an airplane. And at first I thought, well, it was probably just, some smaller aircraft and maybe, had engine trouble or something, crashed into it. Then they started saying it was a 747. Then they said that Tower 2 had been hit. It is heartbreaking, French. It really is. It's heartbreaking. And then we found out that the Pentagon had been hit. And one of my dear friends that I worked with at the time had a family member that was inside the Pentagon at the time it was hit. We all went into panic mode trying to find out if my friend's family members were okay. I remember our boss letting her go into his office and use his phone at his desk and make phone calls trying to find out if our family was okay. They were. They weren't in the part of the building that was actually hit. They were fine. And then the most heroic thing that I could ever imagine was when the flight went down in the Pennsylvania field. And to hear that dad, that husband, that son call his wife from the airplane and tell her that they had been hijacked and that it was most likely not going to end well. I don't know if you remember or not, but Scott Beamer, his wife was actually pregnant at the time. And she was either her parents were at her house or she was at her parents' house. She literally could not hold the phone any longer. She couldn't hold the phone and grasp what was happening. So she handed the phone to her father. And her father asked his son-in-law, "What are y'all going to do?" And and I'm paraphrasing some of this, and the son-in-law said, "We're going to fight. We're going to fight with all that we have." And he said a group of them were banding together and they were going to try to storm the cockpit and try to take the plane back over. Mind you, none of these people knew how to fly an aircraft like that at all. Much any aircraft, much less an aircraft like that. But he laid the phone down. And his father in law stood there and listened at his heroic son in law making a plan with the friends that he had met on the plane to fight for his country. And the last words he heard his son in law say were, "Let's roll." And I have to admit, when things get tough in my family, when there's a mission that we need to accomplish, I'm guilty. I will say, "Let's roll." It's not because I think I'm strong like like he was. Not at all. It's because if he was strong enough to face what he was facing, I'm strong enough to take on whatever comes my way. So, guys, I'm going to try something, okay? And I really, really hope that it works this time. I'm going to try to play President Bush. And, guys, please, 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 I beg of you, don't make this political. Please don't make this political. This is not a political live. This has nothing to do with who was president, who wasn't president, nothing of the fact. But George W. Bush was our president during that time. And I have to say, I admire the way that he handled things. I mean, can you imagine sitting in a kindergarten class and having your chief of staff come and whisper in your ear that America is under attack, and you have to keep a straight face in front of all those little kids so they don't know that there's an issue. And I remember the gentle nudge of the head that President Bush gave. So, guys, I want to play a video. You guys remember when George Bush went to Ground Zero and they were out there chanting, 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 how are we going to handle this, President Bush? How are we going to fight back? America's under attack. How are we going to fight back? This is what he said. So let me get it pulled up here. And I hope this works today. Let me get it pulled up here. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get. I hope this works today. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get this work today. Sorry, guys, I'm trying. Can y'all hear this? Let me know. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear it.
I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the
Thank you.
who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. The nation sends its love and compassion to everybody who is here. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for making the nation proud. And may God bless America.
Okay, guys, that right there, I don't know about y'all, but that sends chills over me. Say what you want to about President Bush, that's fine. But when America needed him the most, he went. He went to Ground Zero. He went to look those people in the eye and see the hurt and the devastation they were experiencing. I have one more video, if y'all don't mind, that I want to share. Let me get it pulled up here. This song right here gets me through a lot of things. I listen to this song usually multiple times a week. Daryl Worley is from Tennessee. He's from Savannah, Tennessee. Daryl Worley does a lot of things for that area. And I'm very proud of Daryl Worley. When I went to nursing school, I actually went to nursing school with a girl that had dated Daryl Worley, and she said he is genuinely just as nice as he appears in every one of these videos, and when he's on TV and everything. So here we go, guys. Okay, guys. Hey, Connected Dots. How are you? Wait a minute. Ooh, time out for a second. Get out there. Okay. Guys, hey, Capri. How are you, girl? Capri, where's your ranch? Wait a minute. Let me go look at something. I can't see Capri's ranch. Capri, I was going to message you. Oh, there's your ranch. I was going to message you and tell you I was going to do this live, but I thought, it's just a quick little remembrance for 9/11. I'll be okay. I didn't want to wake anyone up. But guys, whatever your plans are today, yeah, I see it now, Capri. I couldn't see it. I was looking in StreamYard and I couldn't see it in StreamYard. Yeah, everything's good. Everything is going good. This day is always a little extra somber for me. It just is, and I know it's like that for everyone else. I figured everyone was sleeping, Capri. I really did. I figured everyone was sleeping, so I thought I'll be okay on this one. But this day is extra special, especially if you have military family, military in your background, your family's background. My grandfather was a World War II vet. My great uncle was a World War II vet. My father-in-law is a Vietnam vet who was sprayed with Agent Orange and is fighting for his life because of that exposure. And we need to always remember what those people did to us. Like I said, I don't want to sound political. I really don't. But if we forget what they did to us, we get complacent. And when we get complacent, it gives them the opportunity to come in and hurt us again. Don't let your guard down, especially when they're flying all those people over here because they want to flee Afghanistan. I'm concerned about the vetting that's going on there. I'm sorry, I am. I'm all for helping anyone, but you need to legitimately make sure who you're bringing over here. And when I read comments in news articles that some of these people haven't been properly vetted, and some of these people are on the terror watch list, and we're flying them over here in our airplanes on our dime, I'm scared. I can't help it. I'm scared. I'm scared for our country. I'm scared for our nation. And, but guys, whatever you do today, spread love, spread awareness, show compassion. Yes, Rita, the whole world stood still that day and the days after. The whole world stood still. My kids were 4 and 18 months. And we were very careful about what we discussed of this situation in front of our children, because their little minds couldn't understand what was going on. And like Daryl Worley said in the song, they took all those images off of our TV because they thought it was too disturbing. Well, sometimes I think those images need to be replayed every single day. Every single day. And there's no time to let up, especially when they're flying people on a terror watch list into our country on our planes, our dime, our military people. They're forcing them to fly them in. Guys, I don't know what's going to happen to our country. I really do not know what's going to happen to our country. But this video was a salute and a reminder for the United States, is to honor the victims that lost their lives that day, is to honor the families who lost loved ones that day. Think about the children that were born either shortly before or after that day that never got the opportunity opportunity to get to know their mother or father. And I hope I don't botch his name, okay, guys? But Frank Salas, his brother was a firefighter in New York City. He was off work that day, but he heard about what had happened at the World Trade Center. He made his way to the World Trade Center. He couldn't get close enough to it, so he actually abandoned his truck, grabbed his fire equipment, walked across the bridge, headed toward World Trade Center, and lost his life trying to help people get out. So Frank Salas is has been walking for like the past 31, 32 days from Washington, D.C. to New York City. He's going to finish his walk today. When he's in New York City, and he's walking the same path that his brother walked to get to the World Trade Center. He wants to walk the exact same path. And guys, if y'all want to donate to anything, please consider donating to him. Let me find his website. It's called Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Let me see if I can get this copy. Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, I'm gonna put Frank's website in, and I'm gonna pin it at the top so everybody can see it. Frank is on a mission to give every military personnel that loses their life. He is on a mission to give their family a mortgage-free home. If our service members are injured in the line of duty, he helps to get them a mortgage-free home that is handicap accessible. This also goes for firefighters and police officers. His foundation has paid for them a mortgage-free home as well. And guys, this is the type of thing that I can get behind. I plan to make a donation today to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. We all need to support them. All of us do. Guys, do y'all watch, and like I said, I'm not getting political here. Please don't come for me for the news stations that I choose to watch, okay? But I watch Fox News at night. I like Tucker Carlson. I like Sean Hannity. I like Laura Ingraham, and I like Shannon Bream, and I like Greg Gutfeld. Well, Laura Ingraham went to California a couple of weeks ago and did a week-long things. Oh, you're welcome, Capri. She did a week-long study on what's going on with their homeless situation there. Guys, do you know that there is a park, and I believe it was in San Francisco, that is dedicated to helping homeless veterans have a place to live? Well, they're not letting them in. We have veterans living on the streets in tents, while the United States, hey, Jess Carey, girl, I didn't want to wake you up because I just decided last minute to do this, and I thought, well, there probably won't be any trolls in this one, so I'm sorry. I just didn't want to wake anybody up. But guys, there are veterans living in tents, sleeping on the streets. And we're flying people in from Afghanistan into our country to get our taxpayer dollars to better their lives. And we've got veterans who fought for our country living in tents on the sidewalk. There's no way they can make that make sense. None. Not at all. Zilch. Zero. None. And it's terrible. It's disgusting behavior. It's awful. It needs to stop. Guys, it needs to stop. I'm heartbroken over it. I really am. You know, I go to my father-in-law's. Yeah, Lisa, it is disgusting. It is disgusting. And I want to get a little personal with y'all, if y'all don't mind, for just a moment. I told y'all a little bit ago that my father-in-law was sprayed with Agent Orange in Vietnam. My father-in-law is basically hospice now. He can barely walk. Sometimes he has trouble talking. If he gets up to try to go to the dinner table to eat, it takes 2 to 3 people to help him to walk to get to the dinner table. He has a hospital bed that's in their living room. They chose to put it in the living room so he could still participate and feel like a member of the family. We did not want him shut up in a bedroom in a hospital bed. We don't do things like that. That's not my family. But when my father-in-law gets sick and he has to go to the Veterans Hospital to be admitted, the Veterans Hospital is 125 miles away from our home. And because of COVID, no one can stay with him. Plus, they have semi-private rooms. So a lot of times if he's admitted, my mother-in-law and I will go up and get a hotel room and stay in Nashville. Even though we can't go and see him, we can be in the same city with him. We can go sit in the parking lot and call him and tell him, we're here. We're here for you. Keep fighting. We're here. We love you. We're not going anywhere. And some families may not choose to handle it that way. That's the way that our family has decided to handle it. But with my father-in-law, just a second, guys, I'm sorry. About 6 months ago, my father-in-law got really, really, really sick. We took him to the local hospital. They transferred him to another hospital, and us telling them that he needed to go to the VA hospital. That's where his doctors are. Finally, they listened and they transferred him. They got him to the VA hospital, and he called. My father-in-law was crying and asking us to pray that God would see fit that he could live, because he wanted to be here for us. My children are their only grandchildren. He said, I waited all of my life for grandchildren, and I waited all of my life for grown grandchildren so that we could enjoy life together. Oh, girl, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm sorry. I am. I'm okay. I promise y'all I'm okay. But I have wonderful in-laws. Wonderful in-laws. And it breaks my heart to see people who don't care about life, who do evil, cruel things, don't enjoy life, and they don't have a care of this world. They don't have any health issues. And then someone like my father-in-law who wants to live, who wants to be there for his family, and honestly, we could lose him any day. He could literally. Okay, guys, I'll tell y'all this real quick. He loves the Smoky Mountains. Loves the Smoky Mountains. So anytime that my husband gets some time off work, we take them to the Smoky Mountains. I like going to the Smoky Mountains. So one day we were coming home from the Smoky Mountains, and my father-in-law hadn't been feeling exceptionally well that day. And he had asked for something to drink. You know, we keep him water, Gatorade, and things in a small cooler inside the cab with us, and the main coolers in the bed of the truck. But anyway, he asked for something to drink, and my mother-in-law gave it to him. And he asked for Tylenol. We gave him some Tylenol. And I just happened to glance up. My husband and my father-in-law were in the front. I was sitting on the driver's side passenger seat behind my husband. My mother-in-law was behind my father-in-law. And I just happened to glance up, and I saw the color in his face, and he was kind of slumped over. And I said to my husband, "Pull over. Something's wrong with your dad." And my husband said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Stop the truck. Something is wrong with your dad." Guys, my husband literally had to hold his dad over for us to open the door up so I could see about him. He had passed out. He quickly regained consciousness. He was fine. These things happen. But I'll tell you all of this to say, some people aren't fortunate enough to know if this is going to be their last day on earth or not. My in-laws are wonderful people. They truly are. They are wonderful people. When my boys got old enough, we purchased them their first vehicle when they were 16. When my boys got a job and they wanted to trade their vehicles and get something a little different, my husband and I could have went and co-signed for them to start their credit out. My father-in-law called and asked for permission to be able to do that. He wanted to help make sure that my boys financially, credit-wise, got a good start in life. And I can never thank him enough. He co-signed for my youngest son to purchase a $7,000 truck. My son busted his rear end and paid that vehicle off in 1 year. 2 weeks ago, my son decided he wanted to trade the vehicle. And my father-in-law said, "If you can get me to the credit union, I'll co-sign with him." And I said, "Well, let's see what they tell him on his own." Because of what my father-in-law poured into my son was able to purchase a $30,000 vehicle at the age of 21 years old without a co-signer and at 3% interest. I'm not bragging, but I'm proud. I'm a very proud mother. Very proud. And my in-laws, I can never thank them enough. Never thank them enough. When I was sick and I was unable to, at the start, when I wasn't able to go to work, I'll tell you guys, money got extremely tight in our household. Extremely tight in our household. My husband gets paid every other week at his main job. He gets paid every other Thursday night. Well, Wednesday before his payday, my youngest son, he was probably 11 at the time. He understood finances a little bit, but not too much because we didn't want to burden them thinking that things weren't going to be taken care of. But he had asked for some ice cream. And I explained to him that Dad got paid on Thursday night, Friday morning, and I planned to go grocery shopping that day. Or my husband planned on going grocery shopping that day because I couldn't get out of the house. But anyway, I said, Mommy's making the grocery list, and Dad will go get, what we need and what you guys would like. My mother-in-law called, and my son was crying. Now, mind you, at the same time, my mother was in a hospital herself 45 minutes away. So they couldn't get to us either. And my mother-in-law asked what was wrong with Josh, my son. I'm just throwing that name out there. That's not really his name, but I'm just going to refer to him as Josh. But anyway, she said, "What's wrong with him?" And I said, "He's asking for ice cream." And I've explained to him that payday is Friday and we will get all of their snacks, replenish all of their snacks, and we will get ice cream then. She said, "Oh, no, 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 no." She said, She said, "I'm going to Walmart and I'm going to wire you some money, wire my husband some money to get the things that the boys are asking for." I thought, well, that's really sweet of you. So she gave my husband the ID number for the wire for the transfer, and my husband gets to Walmart to get it. Y'all, my mother-in-law has sent us $200. And when we called her and told her that we had received it, she said, "Now, go get everything that you need for groceries for this week right now. Go get it. Get the boys their snacks that they want. Get them their ice cream. If they want more than one flavor of ice cream, get it for them. Go get what they need. Go get it." And then from that moment on, until we got things figured out financially, yeah, my in-laws were there for us. They were. And I love them. Since my mom passed away, my mother-in-law has been my mother. Something's bothering me, I call my mother-in-law. We talk about everything. And there have been times that my husband and I have had disagreements, and my husband was in the wrong. My in-laws did not take up for my husband. They told their son that he was wrong. Oh, Lisa Lane, I know I'm lucky. I know I'm very, very lucky. Guys, during all of that, when the early days when I was sick, and money wasn't plentiful. Not that money's overflowing in our house right now. I want to say that up front. I'm not rich. I don't pretend to be rich. I don't have desires to be rich. I want to have enough to live comfortably, and I'm happy with that. But when I first got sick and I wasn't able to work like I had been, my mother-in-law would go on the school's website, get my kids' school list, their school supply list, go purchase it, and then call my husband to come and meet them because they lived on the other end of the state. They lived over 300 miles away from us. But she would call my husband and say, "On Saturday, if you can meet us halfway, I will meet you with the boys' school supplies and usually some school clothes as well." Christmas time, she would buy things, pretty expensive things, not for her to give to my boys, for us to give to my boys. Oh, Rose, I have a wonderful time with my mother-in-law. Wonderful time with my mother-in-law. We are close. I we actually go to the same hairstylist. So when I go get my hair done, if it's been a little while since my mother-in-law's been in, I'll make her an appointment and go ahead and prepay, and then just call her and tell her all she's got to do is show up. But it's the least I can do. They were there for us. And my mom passed in 2012. My mom passed December the 10th, 2012. My in-laws knew it was going to be a very difficult Christmas for us. I lived next door to my father and my mother. Yes, Jess Carey, you almost need to take out a second mortgage for those school supply lists. You do. But I lived next door to my father. Of course, when my mother was alive, she lived there too. But my in-laws knew that Christmas was going to be very difficult, very difficult. So they went out, bought lots and lots of Christmas presents that my boys had been asking for. Because as part of their church responsibilities, they had to be away from home overnight. Guess what some scumbag did? Some scumbag broke into the parsonage of the church that my mother-in-law and father-in-law lived in. They broke into a church parsonage. They stole every Christmas present my mother-in-law and father-in-law had purchased. They went into my mother-in-law's bedroom, into her jewelry organizer, stole her wedding rings, her original wedding band and engagement ring. She had it put back with my name on it because she was going to give it to me. People are cruel. Who breaks into a church parsonage? Everyone in that county knew that was the church parsonage. My mother-in-law called me in hysterics. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Every Christmas gift is gone. The wonderful people at their church, got together, started making donations, and she was able to go back and repurchase the majority of the Christmas gifts. I tell you this to tell you, there are evil things in the world, and then there are wonderful people who counteract the evil. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. All right, guys, I got a question for y'all. I mean, we've kind of covered the 9/11 thing like I wanted to, but since there's several of you here, I just kind of wanted to talk for a little bit. If you don't mind, I'm home alone this morning. Can y'all tell me your opinion on what's going on with Mommy Ramblings and the Natasha situation? Let me preface this by saying I support Natasha. My loyalty is with Natasha. I don't want anyone to get that twisted, but I want others' opinions on what's going on with Mommy Ramblings. Yes, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe button, thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, it's interaction. I'm fine with it. But please, please, please. Yes, Connected Dots, MRB is all about herself. She really is. She's all about herself. She's all about herself. Okay, guys, I also want to ask y'all this. For those of you that watched her, what I call it a rant, the 4.5 hour rant that she did the other morning, where she was holding her son's picture. Don't come for me. I'm not talking about her son. I wasn't even in YouTube land when her son passed away. I don't know anything about it. I feel sorry for anyone that has to bury their child. I'm truly, truly sorry. Caprice, she did go overboard with the doxing. She did go overboard with it. And she is condescending to everyone. Everyone. Guys, when she went on this last rampage about on Twitter about Natasha, I fought back for Natasha. I did. Guys, hold on just a minute. I'll be right back. I gotta get my charger. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Her Scooter, both are in Tasha's. Yeah. Okay, guys. For those of you that don't know, MRB and Scooter are in Natasha's American Murder, the Watts Family Murder Facebook group. It has over 53,000 subs in it. Okay. It's the largest Watts Facebook group that there is. It's Natasha's group. It has her name all over it. And MRB and Scooter are in it. They are vile. They are very, very vile. They really are. But I was going to say, when she did that last Twitter thing, and she was saying that, was talking about being swatted and basically insinuating that Natasha was behind her being swatted, I went into Twitter and I was counter responding to every comment that she made. Okay. Well, guess what happened? MRB couldn't handle the truth and she blocked me. Just Carrie, you're exactly right. You can't put a timeline on it, but you also can't do it in an unhealthy way either. She's stuck in the unhealthy way. Guys, I want to look something up real quick, okay? All right. All right. 5 stages of grief, okay? Denial and isolation, number 1. Number 2 is anger. Number 3 is bargaining. Number 4 is depression. Number 5 is acceptance. So, MRB is stuck in a roller coaster ride amongst all of them, except she has never gotten to the accepted part. Yes, it speaks volumes that the Rusek family is still dealing with MRB. It really does. It speaks volumes. Or that MRB is still with the Rusek family. That speaks volumes. It truly does. And during that rant, she hashtagged Summer Wells, a missing 3-year-old or 5-year-old, angel that's been missing for 3 months from Rogersville, Tennessee. She hashtagged that little girl. That made me mad. You don't do things like that. That is terrible. And then she went and monetized those 2 channels or those 2 lives. Okay, guys, I want to ask y'all something else if y'all don't mind. Because I've been asking some people, and I would like to ask some of y'all that have been around a little bit longer than I have. She was slowly extremely mean. Yeah, she's mean, and she's just out for her own self. I don't know, connected dots. I wonder that because if Lana's behind the lawsuits, encouraging the lawsuits and everything, because there's enough ammunition out there that the Watts family could go after Lana. There's enough ammunition out there. There really is. And yeah, there's enough ammunition there. And I've said it before. If I were Sandra Rusek, Lana is the one that I would be going after. How dare her mock Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico? How dare her? How dare her make a comment that it's easier to abort a little boy than it is a little girl? How dare her? There are people in this world that can't have children and who would love a baby. There are people in this world that would have taken Celeste, Bella, and Nico and raised them as their own. But I will say this: if Chris Watts had just notified the Rusek family at what he had done to Shanann, Frank and Sandy would have been on the first airplane to get to Colorado to get their granddaughters. I don't trust Lana at all, guys. I do not trust Lana at all. I do not trust her at all. I do not trust her. There's nothing anyone can say or do that would make me trust Lana. Nothing at all. Nothing. Yeah, guys, come on, hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. All right, guys. I do have a question, if you guys don't mind. Well, wait a minute. I want to tell y'all one more thing before we go on to something else. Whether or not Chris Watts attempted to force Shanann Watts to have a miscarriage or not, which I think that he probably did. When I saw the look on his face when Shanann picked him up at the airport in North Carolina, when he looked at her belly, told me all I needed to know about him. He didn't care about Nico. Exactly right, French. But it was evident that Chris didn't care about Nico. And y'all forgive me if I get a little bit on this one, okay? In 2000, I was pregnant with what was supposed to be child number 2. My sister-in-law was pregnant at the same time. We were due within a couple of 3 weeks apart. I started experiencing some bad symptoms that told me my pregnancy was in danger. We went to the doctor. I had an ultrasound, and I was told to go on bed rest. This was a Friday. I was told to go on bed rest for the entire weekend, come back on Monday for a repeat ultrasound. Well, my television in my bedroom went out sometime that Friday night or early Saturday morning. And my husband wanted to go buy me a new TV because he thought I was just going to be on bed rest for the majority of the pregnancy. So we went to Walmart and he got a wheelchair, put me in the wheelchair, pushed me to where the TVs are, looking for a TV for our bedroom. I got the feeling back. So I told him, I said, let's just go back home. I said, later on, if I want a TV in the bedroom, you can just come purchase one and pick out whichever one. I'm just not up to this. I was feeling so bad that he decided just to take me to my parents' house. My parents weren't home. They had gone out to eat with some friends. I told my husband that I needed to go to the restroom. So he helped me into the restroom. And guys, the worst thing that you can ever imagine, I passed a clot. Now, my doctor had already told me if I passed an extremely large clot, to collect the clot and bring it to the hospital and go to the ER. Guys, it was my baby. I saw my baby. I held my baby. My 8 to 9 month fetus, I held it in my hands. I collapsed to the floor. My husband called my parents, who were still 30 to 40 minutes away from home, and said, "You need to come home. This isn't good." My brother and sister-in-law lived down the street from my parents, and I was uncontrollable. I was screaming. I was mortified. I could not believe this was happening. I kept begging my husband to help me put it back into my womb where it belonged. And my husband was gently telling me that was not possible. So my sister-in-law came. She and I are really, really close. And she hugged me and she prayed with me, and she told me, that we don't understand this, but this is God's will. I ended up in the ER. I had to have a DNC. But I was hurt, yes. But then when my nephew was born, because my sister-in-law and I were pregnant at the same time. When my nephew was born, I was tickled to death because I may have lost my baby, but our family was blessed with a beautiful little boy. Beautiful little boy. His parents went on to divorce, and he became my third child. When my husband and I went on to have another baby like a year later, a very healthy little boy. But he and my nephew were like best friends growing up. When we went on vacation, my nephews went on vacation with us. We did everything together. So I'm telling you, oh, thank you, Connected Dots. And guys, I don't want you to think that when I tell y'all these stories that I'm like trying to get sympathy or whatever. I tell these things in hopes that it will help someone else realize if you're going through something like this, there is light at the end. There is light. You will get through this. It is difficult, but you will get through this. Um, my baby that I lost was sent to the pathology for analysis to see what was wrong with it. I do not know if it was a boy or girl. My heart says it was a little girl, but I do not know that. But guys, you could see its little eyes. You could see the little buds where its arms and legs were going to be. You could see where its little forehead was going to be. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And when I watched the Chris Watts case and I realized what he did to his own children, much less his unborn child, it broke my heart. I would have given anything for my child not to be taken away from me. Anything in this world. I love that baby. At Christmas time, I still do a few extra special things on our Christmas tree in remembrance of our baby. My boys, they know that they have a sibling in heaven waiting for them. They know. And I refuse to let that baby's memory pass away. My grandmother gave me a mum when I lost my baby. And she wanted me to plant it and watch the mum grow and let it be a memory of how my child is growing and flourishing in heaven. and that my child has a body that is whole and new in heaven. But when the pathology came back on my baby, all that they could say was that it was incompatible with life. Well, Chris Watts, your children and your unborn child, they were very compatible with life. They had a life. You chose to take it. Shanann, I don't care if she was the most controlling person on this earth. I don't care. She didn't deserve to be murdered. There's a thing called divorce. You could have left her. Her family has said Shanann would have been just fine without you, Chris Watts. You could have signed your custodial rights over and moved on with your sleaze bag of a whore. But you didn't do it. Okay, I'm going to get off that because I'm going to get mad on that one. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, guys, I got a question for y'all if y'all don't mind. I am trying to grow my channel. Has anybody been a part of someone else trying to grow a channel and have ideas on things that I can do to help get traffic to our channel and to grow our channel? I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen. And no, truth teller, before you say it, I'm not begging for subs like you did, okay? I'm not begging for subs. You don't see me sitting up here begging people to come on panel with me either. Which I am going to start having panels as soon as I've got to order a device that Crafton told me about that's going to help alleviate my microphone, my speaker issue on my computer. As soon as I get that, I'll let you guys know. But anybody have experience growing a channel or knowing someone that's grew a channel? Does anybody have a channel of their own that they could share my page on that wouldn't mind sharing my page? Thank you, Capri. I appreciate that. Thank you, Fridge. I appreciate that. That's why I like talking about how things affect us personally. You know what I mean? No, I will not give my real name. I will not do that because I don't want people going after my children. I'm not going to do that. My boys didn't decide to have a YouTube channel. I did. And I refuse to do that. Yes, guys, thank you all so much for supporting me, supporting our channel. Thank you to Capri, Just Carrie, and Rose. Rose is probably helping with her mother this morning. But my mods, thank you so much for accepting the mod position. Hey, Rubicon. Last Sunday morning, things got real and in a hurry, and we had to quickly add some mods because people came in attacking me for standing up for myself. I'm thankful for Just Carrie, Capri, and Rose for willing to be a mod. It means the world to me. Guys, I was so tickled when my husband came home from church. He said, "How do you feel about everything from last night?" I said, "Oh, I feel great now." I said, "And guess what? I have mods on my channel." I was tickled to death. I have mods that are here to protect us. And not just protect me, they're here to protect everyone who chooses to come in and And oh, I love you so much, Capri. But the mods are here to protect all of us. And I have asked the mods, if anyone is being attacked, use their judgment. If it's right down, flat out, hurt and pain, they're out of here. If it's just a little sly comment, time them out, give them an opportunity. But I will tell you this, 3 strikes in my book, you're out. Because that mess will not be tolerated. French, you're funny. You are so funny. You are so funny. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up pretty soon. I got somebody coming over. Little FYI for y'all. Most people don't know this. I buy Amazon pallets that are shelf pulls. I buy pallets. They are like 6 to 8 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide. And I break that merchandise down. I list it on eBay and I sell it. Or if it's something that's too heavy to ship on eBay, I sell it on the local Facebook marketplace. I actually sold something this morning. I sold $1,200 worth of merchandise and $1,350 worth of merchandise in 7 days just this past week on eBay. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It gives me something to do. And my husband actually bought me a 10 by 20 building to go beside of our house that I store everything in. And eventually I'm going to work from out of there. We're working on getting electricity ran to it. My husband was in a car accident in August. Someone rear-ended him and tore his left rotator cuff, and he had to have surgery. He was off work from April until the end of August. So he wasn't able to do a whole lot. But now we're back in the swing of things, and he's going to get back to working on wiring it, finish the installation, putting up the paneling and everything so that I can get out there and have my little store. I love it. It gets me out of the house. I really enjoy it. And y'all, you don't even know what all you will find on some of these pallets. I could make Natasha After Dark blush, okay, sometimes with some of the stuff that I find on these pallets. You never know. But guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button. I may be back later today, but Rose, Just Carrie, and Capri, I will text you or message you and let you know if I'm going to. I've just got some things I've got to take care of around the house, and I'm home alone, so I'm going to get it done while no one's here. All right, guys. I love you all so much. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.